Hello, Darshan Maharaja here. Yesterday, I saw some posts on Twitter about the unemployment rate that had been published by Statistics Canada. I'm sure you have seen that as well. The top line numbers are much in discussion. For example, the unemployment rate, which has increased to 6.4%, compared to 5.4% in June last year. So, in 1 year, there is a clear 1.0 percentage points increase in unemployment. And there is a related data that I found on the same page of Statistics Canada, but I haven't seen anyone report on that or analyze that. So I thought maybe I can do that meter task for you, because it is definitely bad news. I'm sure you will be disturbed, but these are the things that we should know about. Uh, the particular data that I have, that caught my attention was the increase in population versus the increase in the number of unemployed people. Now, Statistics Canada takes the population 15 plus in years as base for this, because they are technically employable. And then there are all sorts of percentages in terms of participation rate and employment rate and unemployment percentage and all that. So the population of 15 plus people in Canada increased by 1,111,100 in 1 year. That is from June 2023 to June 2024. The number increased of potentially employable people by 1,111,100. And the number of unemployed people increased by 245,200. So while the number of employable people increased by 3.42%, the number of unemployed people increased by 22.02 or thereabouts percent. So you have something like a 3.5% increase in population of employable people, but 22% increase in the number of unemployed people. Now, this needs better analysis than what I am able to offer. People who have a better grip than I on economic analysis need to dig into this. So I hope they will see this video and then do their analysis and tell us what it means. But as a layman, it appears to me that this is bad news. When population is increasing at 3.5% and unemployment is increasing at uh, almost more than 6 times that rate, something is out of joint. I feel, this is something that I have been uh, wondering about, and maybe worrying about is the correct term here. Uh, I have been saying that this kind of mass immigration that we have, where labor market impact assessment document that allows an employer to hire a foreign national and not including permanent resident, an out and out foreign national on a temporary residency permit in place of a Canadian. And I've been warning that this is going to lead to a problem. Some time ago, I also uh, posted a video where I said that as summer picks up steam, this is going to come more in focus. And in that video, my focus was that uh, Conservative Party of Canada leader Pierre Poilievre will have to address this. Now, these are numbers for June. So as the summer progresses, July and August, more and more young people in either high school or college are looking for a job. These numbers, I fear, are going to look worse as these 2 months progress. Now, among young Canadians, the unemployment rate was 12.7% as opposed to 6.4% in the general population. So twice as much. So again, I look back to my uh, idea or theory, if you want to call it that, that this entry level jobs being sold to non-permanent residency permit holders is going to become a bigger issue. Now, if you combine the participation rate, which is how many people in the economy are uh, willing to work, uh, that is declining. At the same time, the number of unemployed, both in raw numbers and in percentages, is increasing. So if fewer people are looking for jobs, and yet the people who cannot find jobs, that number increases, then I see a compounding effect here. And I think this, what caught my eye on Statistics Canada's website, bears out what I am saying here, which is that population increased by less than 3.5%, but the number of unemployed people increased by 6 times that rate. This, I think, is the compounding effect of declining participation rate and increased unemployment percentage. Now, this brings us to something that a friend of mine on Twitter had posted about, I think, yesterday or day before, where he dug up Rohana Rezel, that is his name, and he dug up information from government documents saying or showing that there used to be something called a trigger, what we may think of in common language as a thermostat for a furnace. You need heating in your home in the winter months, but when the inside temperature reaches a particular point, the thermostat stops the furnace, so you don't overheat the home. Something similar used to be there where labor market impact assessment, LMIA permissions, used to stop being given uh, when unemployment rate exceeded 6.0%. The simple logic being that there were enough unemployed people in Canada to want to take that job which was on offer, and therefore it was not allowed to look for a worker outside. Now, I have observed many times that in Canada, especially in the government and business circles, the operating premise seems to be that if there is work that needs to be done inside Canada, then the worker who can do it is currently outside Canada, and we need to bring that worker in. That seems to be the operating premise because the way Canadians are being shut out of all kinds of jobs. And as I have noted earlier, that is now no longer limited to entry level, minimum wage, unskilled or low skilled jobs. It is now migrating up to higher skill, higher pay jobs. So Canadians are being shut out of all kinds of jobs, and then the trigger that used to prevent hiring foreign nationals on temporary permits, that trigger was removed in April of 2022. This is what Rohana Rizal discovered. He posted it and it has gone viral. I even saw it floating around on Reddit. Naturally, this is a matter of concern to a lot of Canadians. Now, at this point, I have to also mention that uh, I have made a podcast episode on this, which is that while this happened in April 2022, right after that, in May of 2022, uh, House of Commons passed Motion M44. I encourage you to look for that podcast. The video version is on my YouTube channel as well, so it will be easy to find. uh, where Motion M44 was basically asking the government to uh, create pathways for temporary foreign workers, including international students, to obtain permanent residency. Now, it is noteworthy. I have said this, but it is worth repeating, which is that under Motion M44, international students are viewed as a subset of temporary foreign workers. So their primary identity is as a worker, not as a student. That is worth bearing in mind. And it also speaks about all skill levels. And as I have observed earlier, uh, this basically stands our immigration approach on its head, because hitherto it has been about highly skilled, experienced workers being encouraged to immigrate to Canada for like what, 40 years plus. And now suddenly they are talking about all skill levels, not just high skilled level. So this, and noteworthy that this motion passed unanimously by a vote of 324 to 0. So there seems to be unanimity of opinion in the House of Commons, at least, that this is the way for our immigration policy to go. That I think will need a serious relook. I hope, after the election, if the Conservatives are able to form government, then this is going to be one of the main things, because it impacts on so many things. You know about that, from job availability to housing, cost of housing, to healthcare, infrastructure, and down the line, even schools. The adequacy of schools in each area is going to be impacted once the full effect of this mass immigration manifests itself. So, I thought this was a very relevant point to bring to your notice. The sale of LMIAs is a serious issue, and that so far hasn't really caught on in the political sphere among the general population of Canadians. Yes, it is a big issue, and yours truly has played some role in that. So that is a big issue, but on the political level, I don't think it is getting the kind of attention that it deserves. Now, the Pierre Poilievre keeps talking about economic recovery, basically bringing better economic situation for Canadians if and when he forms government. But I think this is going to be the linchpin of any plan that he makes, because as long as you have people flooding in, and the systems not keeping up with them, the job market is not expanding at the rate that the population is expanding. So he will have to really take a very cold hard look, and maybe opt for decisions that won't be popular. I'm sure they'll be highly unpopular, especially in certain segments, including our wanted mainstream media. But he will have to go hard on this. Otherwise, any plan that he makes will not have much of a chance of success. That's my melancholy message to you on this bright Sunday afternoon. Uh, well, still, I wish you a very great week ahead, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye and be well.